The current points leader in the division, starting on the pole of this heat race, the Blaine Miller Road Service Double B Garage Palm Brokers Honda will bring the field to green next time around. 55 of Kyle Carlson from Homer Glen, Illinois. The Carlson Motorsports Chevrolet starting from the second position. 66 of Greg Isbell from Trenton, Ohio in the third starting position. Vors Welding and Steel Izzy Racing Pontiac, the field picking up the pace. They head to turn 4, and the 40th running of the Winchester 400 race weekend is underway. Green is out on the Vors Welding and Steel Compacts. Into the lead goes the number 13 of Shelmadine. Isbell to the bottom in turn number 2, looking to move forward the 66 of Greg Isbell as they head to turn number 3. Side by side throughout the field, the first of 8 laps to be completed at the line this time. And leading will be the number 13 of Shelmadine, but a challenge coming from the inside from Trenton, Ohio driver Greg Isbell in trouble. Second fast and the fastest qualifiers get together, able to spin it around to avoid heavy contact. The 177 of Richardson, he's going to be able to pull away from the scene. He gets it fired and starts to move. And just minor damage, I think, as well on top qualifier Kyle Crump's number 7 car. Isbell on the inside, Shelmadine on the outside lane, ready for a restart. 1 complete, 7 to go. Our first race of the weekend, the Vors Welding and Steel Compact 8-lap heat. To the green, coming off of turn number 4. We have them 3 wide on the front stretch. Halinga drops to the bottom with Isbell in the middle. Halinga drops back into line. Up front, the 13 of Shelmadine holding on to the lead. And looking later tonight in the feature, trying to hold on to the championship. He slides up the banking. Isbell will move forward on the inside lane. At the stripe, Shelmadine still leads. Lap number 2 in the 13 car. Rick James running 3rd. Brian Martin running 4th. On the move is the number 7 of top qualifier Kyle Crump. He's going for the number 4 position on the inside of Martin. Halinga nearly gets into the wall. They continue to stay green. 3 in, 5 to go for car number 66, Greg Isbell. James in the second spot, and Kyle Crump, the youngster, in car number 7. Some solid races lately, including his win at Lucas Oil Raceway a couple of weeks ago. He's now moving into the number 3 spot. He's still involved in this possible win in a heat. And Crump will take the 3rd spot away from the 13 of Shelmadine. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th drop single file. Here comes the 14 of Martin to the inside of Shelmadine now. Five complete, 3 to go. It will be 2 to go next time by. And the 7 of Crump is closing. Quickly into turn 3. 3-car battle up front now. Isbell sees the 2 to go signal, but he's got some strong challengers right behind him. Does Crump have time? Brings it into turn 1 a little bit sideways. Might be his last weekend of compact racing. Wants to move up next year. To the inside for the lead. Here comes Rick James for the number 1 spot. Into turn number 3 for the number 1 spot. First race of the weekend. Already a battle on the final circuit of an event. 3 wide for the number 1 position. Here comes Crump to the bottom. Kyle Crump brings it into turn 1 sideways. Loses some momentum. Here comes James back. The driver on the outside, Rick James, in the 101 car from Elyria. Here's Crump on the inside. How will they come off of turn number 4 will determine the winner. James, a pretty good exit of turn 4, and Rick James will pick up the win as they rub across the line. Crump in the number 2 spot, and a pretty good way to get us started for the 40th running of the Winchester 400 race weekend. An exciting Vors Welding and Steel Compact heat that has the 101 of Elyria, Ohio driver Rick James claiming the victory. 81 car, Phil Iliff on the pole, that Vors Welding and Steel Mitsubishi, with the 31 of Vester starting alongside. Vester was involved in a practice crash earlier today. 114 of Joseph Jennings spun coming off of turn number 4. Investor nowhere to go. Got collected. Iliff Investor to the green coming off of turn number 4. 8 laps, second heat race. Well, the compact division is underway. '31 car of Vester goes into the lead coming off of turn number 2 going into turn 3. Oh, trouble on the front stretch. Around goes the 85 of Iliff. Great, backing into the wall, the 90 of Jeff Hopkins. Phil Iliff in the 85 did a great job to keep it off the wall. It looked like he was going to slap the wall, driver's side impact, and he locked it down, straightened the car out, and avoided any impact until he collected another car that had nowhere to go. Pace truck dropping into the infield this time, and Brent Downey will come in on the inside, driving the Bigelow number 4 on the inside of J.R. Vester. Vester leading in the 31 as the 4 of Downey drops into the second spot. Downey a little bit better entering turn number 3. Car pushes up the banking a little bit. The 07 of Vore running in the third spot. 44 of Bigelow in fourth. And dropping off the pace and heading to the infield will be the 85 of Phil Iliff. For the second spot with 3 laps to go. It's the 07 of Vore to the inside of Brent Downey. And Vore drops off the pace coming off of turn number 2. Steve Vore in the 07, while racing for second, has dropped off the pace and will make his way, it looks like, to the infield. Caution will come out for the 07 car of Steve Vore. Two to go for the 4 of Downey and the 31 of Vester, and they're back underway. White flag, final circuit. Vester a little bit sideways, Downey up the banking in the middle of 1 and 2 as they will come to the checkered flag in the second and final Vore's Welding CRA Compact Heat Race of the night. Vester comes off of turn number 4, sees the checkered, and comes across the line with a victory. Brent Downey with a runner-up finish. 99 of Hopkins moves up to the inside of the front row with a 72 of Parker starting outside. 15-lap event for the All-Stars and the Sullivan RV CRA Late Model Sportsman. 6 cars, the other ones electing to use the early laps as a hot lap session. Here we go to the green. Mark Parker into the lead in the 72 car. Damon Eckhoff into the second spot. Hopkins drops to third. Running fourth is Atkinson. To the outside, Atkinson looking for third on the outside of Hopkins. He will take the third spot away. For the lead, Damon Eckhoff on the inside of Parker. Side by side for the lead. Eckhoff on the bottom, Parker on the outside lane. Both have won CRA Super Series or CRA Sportsman races in yellow. Comes out, caution out, rain coming down pretty heavy. Here we go with Parker on the bottom. Green is back out. 2 laps in, 13 to go, and Eckhoff into the lead again. Here comes Charlie Hanna to the high side. Charlie Hanna to the outside lane. He will move into the second spot. Jason Atkinson moves into third. KC Spillers will take fourth. Fred Hopkins running the bottom right behind Parker. We'll let Parker fall into line. For the second position, Charlie Hanna and Jason Atkinson. Picking up a pretty sizable lead in just a couple of laps is at 15 of Damon Eckhoff. Damon Eckhoff from Greenfield, Indiana with a big lead. Build up on Jason Atkinson. Eckhoff in that CRA Late Model Sportsman car has been very strong in recent events. Atkinson trying to close the gap. The 7 of Atkinson ran a better lap time last time by. This time he runs another better lap time. He's about a 10th quicker. Jason Atkinson in the number 7, about a 10th quicker per circuit than the 15 of Damon Eckhoff. Will it be enough time to catch him? He picks up a lot of ground going into 3 before the car bottoms out some. 7 laps in, 8 to go. We will be halfway. This time by coming up, Eckhoff giving up some ground. Nearly 2/10 quicker that lap was the 7 of Atkinson. You can see him closing the gap. Halfway signal, 8 laps in, 7 to go for Damon Eckhoff. Jason Atkinson holding on to second. Oh, KC Spillers nearly spun in turn 2. He keeps on going. Those Spillers hangs on to it. 6 to go. 6 to go for the 15 of Damon Eckhoff. Atkinson is closing quickly. Down to about 6 car lengths to the leader. 5 to go for the Greenfield, Indiana driver. Atkinson into the wall in the 7 car. Jason Atkinson in the 7 into the wall. Atkinson looked like something breaking or a tire going down on his car as he went into turn 1. We saw him bottoming out going into 3 a little earlier, and then some sparks flew, but there, contact for the number 7 of Atkinson. Ready for the restart. Here comes Eckhoff and Hanna to the green. They go into the first and second turn, trying to make sure not to spin the tires. Probably a little bit careful because of the raindrops falling from the sky. 4 laps to go for Eckhoff. Great season of sportsman racing for him this year. And he leads with just 4 to go. Less than 4 to go now. 3.5 for the 15 of Eckhoff. 2 laps to go for the 15. 2 laps to go for the 15 of Damon Eckhoff. Oh, Casey Spiller slaps the wall but keeps on going. White flag this time for the 15 of Damon Eckhoff. Final circuit, and he has a huge lead build up. He could coast on this final circuit. Hannah trying to hold off the 72 of Parker. Coming to the checkered flag, Damon Eckhoff picks up the victory in the All-Star Dash. 15-lapper, Charlie Hannah second. Mark Parker comes home third. Fourth spot will go to Fred Hopkins in the 99. And also with problems towards the end of the event, the 38 of Casey Spillers. He slapped the wall with about 2 laps to go and retired 1 lap early. So the All-Star Dash race for the Sullivan RV CRA Late Model Sportsman complete. 15 laps in the books, and Damon Eckhoff claims the victory. '07, your 5th place starter, Tom Jewell from Vandalia, Michigan. The Bellman Oil, Wings Etc., Club Power Sports, Martin Supermarket car, and the 26 of Jeff Lane. Lane just put up a top 5 qualifying effort for the Super Series. Ready for green coming off of turn number 4. 6 laps the distance, $600 to win. Nothing for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, and we're underway at Winchester. Into the lead goes the 11 of Nestor. He got the better start. The 7 of Tomasic going for the runner-up spot on the inside of Tim Burkett. Side by side for the runner-up position heading to turn 3. Tomasic on the inside. Burkett on the outside as Nestor pulls away. The first of many races and many laps tonight here at Winchester Speedway. The 11 of Nestor across the line, 2 laps down. Nestor, Tomasic, Poole, Burkett, Lane, and the 07 car of Tom Jewell. Jeff Lane ready to make a move on Tim Burkett for the number 4 position. Lane looking to the low side of Burkett for 4th. Leading is Brian Nestor. He's won here on the high banks before. Four down. A couple to go, a lap and a half now for Brian Nestor. Lane looking to the inside of Burkett down in turns 3 and 4. White flag. Final circuit for Brian Nestor. Nestor down the backstretch. Just 2 turns and half a straightaway away from $600 to get him started on this Saturday night. And Brian Nestor claims the victory. Tomasic second, Poole third, Lane 4th, 5th spot to the 14 of Burkett, and claiming 6th, the 07 of Tom Jewell. Next time to the green for the 27 of Josh Poore, the 72 of Frank Kimmel II, the son, of course, of the legendary ARCA racer Frank Kimmel. The 9 of Carl Muffley, the 11 of Jimmy Kirby. 10 laps the distance. Edco Welding CRA Street Stock All-Star Dash Race off of turn number 4 to the green. Sideways into turn 1 is Josh Poore. He's able to hang on to it, and into the lead goes Frank Kimmel II. Poore holds on to second, battle for third. It will be Muffley dropping into single file formation. Kimmel, Poore, Kirby, Muffley, 1st through 4th. the New Stars races for the Edco Welding Street Stocks and the Sullivan RV CRA Late Model Sportsman coming our way next. They are additional makeup races from last night's program, and Kimmel leads by 4 car lengths over the 27 of Poor. He's sideways, fighting a free condition. Here comes Kirby to the bottom. Here comes the 9 of Muffley as well, and Josh Poor is off the pace in the 27. Frank Kimmel II continues to extend his lead in this all-star dash race for the Edco Welding Street Stocks. Later tonight, these drivers will be back out with many more for their feature. It will be halfway this time. 5 laps in. 5 more laps to go for the 72 of Frank Kimmel II. Kimmel leading Kirby, leading Muffley. He's in 3rd, and Poor running in the 4th spot. 4 to go. The 11 of Kirby was a 10th quicker the last lap by, but a lot of ground to make up if he's only picking up a 10th per lap for Kirby, the Indianapolis driver. See how much better he is this time by than Frank Kimmel II, the leader. Again, it was about a 10th, but really hard to even see him picking up any ground on the raceway. 2 to go this time for Frank Kimmel II. A lap and a half for Kimmel, Kirby, Muffley, and Poor. The Sullivan RV CRA Late Model Sportsman New Star event coming up next, the white waving final circuit for Frank Kimmel II. Off of turn number 4, Kimmel coast into the 4th corner, can bring it across the line with victory. In the all-star dash race, Frank Kimmel II wins, Kirby 2nd, Muffley 3rd, finishing 4th is Josh Poor. The Mars Trucking Custom Color Collision Scholler Valley Foods Chevrolet car number 72 coming to the front straightaway off of quarter 4. Picked up a win in street stock competition with the division earlier this season at Lucas Oil Raceway. And their New Stars race that is being made up from last night's rainout. 10 cars, 20 laps. The 18, a sportsman car that's just going to get a few laps to make sure that the car is okay for the feature later. Mark Lambert's had some big time issues with that car in qualifying. Somehow he was able to keep it out of the wall. It was definitely out of control. Roger Northrup Jr. from Niles, Michigan on the pole. The 11 of Alex Vonderow on the outside in green off of turn number 4, 20 laps the distance. Into turn number 2, Vonderow into the lead. Northrup drops to 2nd. Here comes the 66 of Nate Wilson into the 3rd spot. Wilson running the low side. 51 of Woodring running around the top of the track in the 66, moving up into the 2nd spot at the line. Nate Walton. Walton into 2nd. Oh, that 18 car Lambert sounds like it shut off on the front stretch. That did not sound good. Hopefully he shut it down himself. Your leader, the 11 of Vonderow. .66 to the bottom. Here comes Nate Walton for the lead. Vonderow on the outside. Walton on the inside lane. It's going to be Walton using the bottom groove to take the top spot for lap 3. Richardson for 2nd. Vonderow back to 3rd. As Chad Richardson has moved into the number 2 spot. Vonderow back to 3rd. Cook moving up. He's up to 4th in the 8. problems earlier in qualifying for the number 8 of Dean Cook, but the 2011 late model champion from Bearfield Speedway is up into the top 5, running 4th, and he's looking for 3rd off of turn number 2. Dean Cook on the inside of Vondero. 5 laps in, 15 to go as Richardson starts to reel in the race leader. Richardson about a 10th quicker the last time by in that 46 car than the 66 of Walton. Some side-by-side racing just out of the top 5. The number 9 of Lucas Crick running the low side. Woodring holding on to 6th in the 51. Oh, Richardson lost a lot of ground coming off of 2 in the 46. Something with the 46 of Richardson. Just got out of control a little bit, lost his rhythm, but Richardson lost a few car lengths coming off of the turn and was 7/10 slower than the leader the last time by. Walton holding on to the lead. Richardson running 2nd, running 3rd is Cook. In the 4th spot, Vondero running 5th, the 29 of Northrop. Crick in 6th, Woodring in 7th. In the 8th spot is Parker. 9th is Brown in the 35, and rounding it out the 41 car of Jack Oliver. Richardson again, after having the 1 bad lap and losing a lot of ground, is closing on the 66 of Walton. Halfway this time, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go. Down to a couple of car lengths for Richardson. In 3 and 4, about a car length separates the lead duo. Nate Walton and Chad Richardson at the front of the pack, all by themselves. Half straightaway lead over Dean Cook. Nearly a straightaway advantage for those 2 drivers as he just exits 2 as they enter 3. 8 laps to go. Trouble on the backstretch. Big trouble on the back straightaway. James Brown in the 35. Lucas Crick in the number 9. Heavy impact in turn number 3. Kind of an odd place for a big mishap, but one that does take place in turn number 3. It looked like the 9 of Crick was turned around. The 35 of Brown with nowhere to go. We will stop the field and let the cleanup take place and the safety crews to get in position in turn number 3. Richardson on the inside, Walton on the outside. Walton was the leader. Richardson was closing in before the caution. Can he make the pass on the bottom for the restart? 6 cars left, 8 laps remaining. Green is back out, a good restart off of turn number 4, and Walton will resume as the leader. Richardson fights back to the inside, pulls forward by a half car length. Vondero checks up in the 11 back in the field, might fall out of the top 5. Side by side they continue, and Richardson's going to be the leader coming to the completion of lap number 13. Chad Richardson in the 46 has taken the point. Richardson out front. Walton falls to 2nd. Dean Cook runs 3rd, and Woodring is in the number 4 spot. 6 laps left. Six remaining, now 5.5 to go for the 46 of Chad Richardson. Five to go, signal given for the 46 of Richardson. Right up along the wall, pulling away from the 66 of Nate Walton and the 8 of Dean Cook. 4 to go this time. These are makeup events from one night ago with the rain out last night. 17 laps complete, 2.5 to go now for the 46 of Richardson. Walton, Cook, Woodring, and Vonderow. 2 to go. Final circuit, white flag, last lap for the 46 of Chad Richardson. Walton still several car lengths back, cuts it down a little bit in 3 and 4. I think Richardson coasting to the line, brings it across to the checker. Chad Richardson, the winner of the New Stars 20 lapper at Winchester Speedway for the Sullivan RV CRA Late Model Sportsman Division. Walton second, Cook third, Woodring fourth, finishing fifth is Vonderow, and sixth is Parker in the 110. One to go signal displayed. Up next, the USA Modifieds. The USA Modified Division in their first of 2 last chance races coming up next. 12 laps the distance in those. There will be 6 transfer cars in each of those 2 events. It'll be like watching 2 feature events added to the program with the USA Modified stellar field this weekend. A.J. Reidner in the 96, Courtney Hanna in the 34 to the green flag. We are off and racing for 25 circuits. Side by side, Hanna in the 34, edges ahead into the lead. '34 of Hanna, the advantage at the line. She leads lap number 1 by inches over the 96 of Reidner. Hanna into the lead. Dropping into second is Reidner. Oakes is third. Look at Hadley. Look at Gosser. They're side by side. Coming up on the number 2 of Danny Smith. To the inside for second. Here comes Oakes. Frankie Oakes looking to the outside, right on the rear bumper of A.J. Reidner. Oh, Oakes gets in hard to turn 3. A little bit of contact with the 96 of Reidner. They continue going. Gosser in the 29, Smith in the number 2 side by side. Good racing at the tail end of our top 5. And here comes Oakes again in the 26 on the bottom side. Leading is Hanna, and while the 2nd through 5th and 6th place cars are battling, she's pulling away. 4 laps in, 21 to go. Danny Smith on the outside lane, the number 2 car into the 3rd spot. Oakes is now sliding back on the inside, and Gosser is caught behind him. Reidner still second. 5 complete, 20 to go. Single file formation throughout the pack now. Back to Joshua Carroll and Barkas as they battle deep in the pack. And Gosser picks up a spot from the 26 of Oakes. He is now in 6th. Hadley on the inside of Danny Smith for the 3rd spot. Kyle Hadley on the inside of Smith will move up into the number 3 position. Smith back to 4th. Marsh now running in 5th. Marsh needed the bump start to get him going before the start of the race, but is running pretty well during the course of the event, but now will give up a spot to the 29 of Tom Gosser. Hanna continues to extend her lead. The last thing she wants to see is a yellow. And here comes Hadley to the inside and quickly takes 2nd away from A.J. Reidner. So now Hadley, who is a little bit quicker than Courtney Hanna, see how long it takes for him to close in on Hanna. Gosser in the 29 moves up to 4th. Smith back to 5th, holding off Marsh right now. Hanna leading Running second is Hadley, but Hannah that time was about 4.5 tenths slower than the number 12 of Kyle Hadley. For third, Tom Gosser, who was held up earlier. Gosser to the inside of the 96 of Reidner for the third position. Hannah losing ground, and now she skips off the wall in the backstretch and gives up all of the ground that she had built up over the number 12 of Hadley. Hadley is there. Hadley is there in second. Looks to the inside of Hannah for the lead going into turn one. Will be halfway the next time around. Hadley takes over the race lead coming off of turn number 2. Hannah back to second. But if she keeps it in the right direction, a great shot at a second or a third place finish as the cross flags will go up this time. 13 in, 12 laps to go for Kyle Hadley, Courtney Hannah, Tom Gosser, AJ Reidner, and Danny Smith. Running 6th currently Tyler Marsh, running 7th Frankie Oakes, running 8th the 33 of Mason, 9th is Amos, 10th is the 19 of Carroll, 11th the 16 of Campbell. Last car on the lead lap is Campbell in the 16. Just going down a lap is the 50 of Barkas. Kyle Hadley in car number 12 from Louisville, Kentucky. The Working Western Wear, Pro Tent, Boot Lake Barbecue, Terry Satellite Chevrolet leads lap number 15, 10 laps to go. Closing on slower traffic, the 16 will move over one way or another to allow the 12 of Hadley to go by, and he looks to the inside of Campbell and will try to put the 16 down the circuit. Gosser on the inside of Hannah, side by side for the second spot, and Tom Gosser might be out front at this point had he not got caught up in the wrong lane early in the race and get shuffled back over the first few circuits. But Gosser is up to second, back to third, the 34 of Hannah. Seven laps to go for Kyle Hadley. Hadley leading, Gosser in second. They both ran nearly identical laps last time. This time, close to the same lap time once again. "20 laps in, 20 laps in, 5 to go." Hadley sideways coming off of 4 that time. Hadley up the track in turn 4, Gosser closing. Hadley lost 3 tenths that time to Tom Gosser. Hadley really shot up the banking in the middle of 3 and 4 last circuit, and we're getting down to the last few laps. 3 laps to go at the line for Hadley, and Gosser is closing. Could we have another magical finish of just about every race like we normally see here on the high banks at Winchester? Gosser, though, gets sideways coming off at 2. He's going to give some of that ground back. Hadley working around the 19 of Carroll. 2 to go signal. 2 to go for Hadley. 3 car lengths separate the leader and second. Down to a car length in the middle of 1 and 2. A lap and a half to go. This time we'll see the white flag. Louisville, Kentucky driver Kyle Hadley leading, but Tom Gosser has caught him. Final circuit. White flag. Last lap for Hadley. Into